Hello test takers, welcome to this video from Time, the leaders in test prep. For all those aspiring to get into top MBA colleges in India, we are the one-stop shop for all your test prep woes. We've been helping students for 30 plus years now to realize their MBA goals. Year after successful year, we've been accomplishing our mission of placing thousands of students into illustrious MBA colleges across India. So students, this video will take you through a very important aspect of CAT test preparation, which is vocabulary building. This video is an overview and this will help you understand the importance of vocabulary to the test and of course in general. So vocabulary is a very important aspect of any kind of test preparation, and all the more when it comes to such a top-notch exam like the CAT. Having said so, let me tell you something about this topic in detail. So, I have over here the importance of vocabulary in MBA entrance exams. Now, this video will help you understand this topic, the importance of vocabulary in all MBA entrance exam and of course CAT in particular. So, we realize that because in the CAT especially, there are no direct vocab questions, we tend to overlook or even ignore the importance of vocabulary. Let me tell you how important vocabulary is, what a crucial role it plays in your preparation for this exam. So, take a look. These are the questions that may pop up in your minds when it comes to preparation of this area. Is vocab important for the CAT? How important it is and why is it important? So, let me help you answer these questions and of course bust the myth that maybe you've created in your minds regarding vocabulary in general. So, vocabulary plays a very crucial role in MBA entrance exam is something I've already told you. What does it help us in? Now, it helps us in verbal ability and reading comprehension. It helps us in critical thinking and analysis. It also helps us improve our communication skills. It gives us improved comprehension of whatever we come across. It, of course, leads us to an enhanced test performance. In addition to that, it gives us a competitive edge. Okay, it helps us prepare for business school. So, these are the areas in which vocabulary is important. Now, having said so, let me take you through each of these in detail. Okay, so we come to the first part which says verbal ability and reading comprehension. All of us are aware that the VARC, the Verbal Ability and Reading Comprehension section of the CAT is a much dreaded section for quite a few students who come and tell me or who come to us and they tell us that while they have some kind of a footing in the other two sections, it is in the VARC section that most of the problems they face arise. So, this vocabulary or a strong hold on vocabulary will help you improve your comprehension of this area. It will help you in a better understanding of whatever you come across. The VARC in the CAT may not have direct vocab questions, but there are other exams like the NMAT, the ZAT, and of course the GMAT also, in which vocabulary plays a very important role because these tests pose direct questions based on vocabulary. So, if you have a wide ranging vocabulary, if you know a lot of words, their meanings, etc., you will not just find yourself in a better position, or it will not just help you improve your percentile in this section of the CAT, but also help you in these other management exams as well. Okay, we then come to critical thinking and analysis. Now, how does a good vocabulary help us in this area? As you may already be aware, quite a lot of questions in the VARC section demand that we analyze the text in a very, very critical manner and analyze what we come across. So, having a good understanding of words, of vocabulary, those kind of words which are not everyday common words, which will help us in this area also, and help us in thinking critically. Then communication skills. So, communication skills is a very general wide ranging term. It does not apply just to the preparation of any entrance exam or any competitive exam. As an MBA test taker, as an MBA student later on, and later on as a professional, we need to have good communication skills. And if you have a good vocabulary, you know quite a lot of words, you're able to understand what they mean, you are able to comprehend them when you come across them in text or people, speaking to you, you will be able to deal with whatever you get on hand more effectively. So, communication skills are certainly very, very important for all professionals. Then, good vocabulary helps you in improving your comprehension. This is something I've already stated, and this reiterates. Of course, this is the goal, enhanced test performance. While we know that the CAT passages may not have, words that are new, unfamiliar and very different or difficult to interpret, at times we do come across those kind of passages which are terse, which are very challenging to interpret, and this could be not just because of the way the sentences are structured, but also because the words that these passages or these paragraphs contain are very hi-fi. So, if you have an idea, if your preparation is thorough and complete, then your test performance will certainly be better than how you have performed previously, and of course in comparison to the rest of your test takers. And this will give you a competitive edge, okay, because we're dealing with a competition, we're dealing with a competitive exam. So, if you score higher, then you certainly go ahead and much higher than all the rest who are also in the race. And finally, it will help your preparation for business school. If you feel this is a little premature, it's a little too early, let me tell you, it is not, because all your efforts are focused and directed towards getting yourself into a good B school. B school curriculum is not the general usual kind of curriculum. Once you get there, you have to deal with a lot of matter, and if you have a good knowledge of the language and everything in a language that plays a good role, a very important role in helping you understand what you come across, how you present yourselves, how you speak, then you will of course make a mark in your B school as well. Okay, so grades are important, and good vocabulary ensures that you have that kind of command on the language, which will help you not just interpret what you come across, but also present, speak, and therefore become better than the others in your batch. Okay. Now, having said so, let me also help you understand what is the best way to develop vocabulary. So, whatever I told you would have given you an idea that it is really important that you have a good number of words in your kitty. You do understand that words play a very important role, and the next step is to find out the best way to develop vocabulary. What is it? How do I go about building vocabulary? Now, vocabulary enhancement tips for MBA entrance exams will help you in that area. Okay, so as I said, this is the first of our video in the series for vocabulary building, and in this I will give you some idea and this should give you an understanding as to the importance of vocabulary, and of course lead you in the direction of a good preparation of that area. So, these are a few tips that will help you in your preparation for vocab. Regular reading. A regular reading habit always helps, because we come across so much in the process, and when we read, we stop, we look up the meanings of words, we apply them to the context in which the word has popped up, and this steadily, gradually improves the number of words we are familiar with, and of course how they need to be used. Using flashcard is also a sure shot method that will help you develop a good vocab. Practice tests, of course, because we are, going forward with targeted practice. So, because your goal is to qualify for a competitive exam, practice tests are a must. We have so many practice tests, and once you join us, you will get to know how we design them so that they can suit your requirement. Word lists. Now, word list is something that you need to have. You need to be able to identify words which you feel are difficult or challenging for you. Words that may have come in RC passages in the previous CAT exams, and of course keep adding to the word list. And of course, contextual learning. Contextual learning is very important because it is not enough to just be aware of so many words. It is more important that you are able to use them, because unless you know where a particular word needs to be used, you will not be able to help yourselves even with the kind of word power you may have developed. Okay. Then, in order to ensure that the learning that you have been doing, you are able to apply it into something meaningful, you need to engage in discussions with your peers and write regularly. Now, writing is something which today's generation has almost forgotten. But in order to excel at something, especially this kind of preparation, you need to sit down and write something. Even if it is one page in one day, please think up of topics which you have read of and then try to put them down in your own words. Write something which is important and something which will help you, use the words that you have learned. Okay, so all these are very important and they will certainly guide you and help you in your vocabulary development measures. Now, I have something to help you understand the importance of vocabulary. So, pay attention to what's there in front of you. Consider this piece of writing. And here's another paragraph. So, let me quickly read this out for you and then I'll tell you the objective behind me presenting this. In a quaint hamlet named La Mancha, nestled in the heart of Spain, there resided a man with an insatiable passion for pursuing tales of knighthood. Each day he would immerse himself in narratives of intrepid knights and their illustrious escapades. So engrossed was he in these chronicles that he scarcely remembered to partake in sustenance or to seek repose. The epoch of cavaliers and esquires, replete with exhilarating escapades and amorous pursuits, vivifies in the whimsical chronicles of Don Quixote's peregrinations. With the passage of time, Don Quixote envisions himself ensconced in the realm of chivalry. He persuades Sancho Panza, an agrarian from his native hamlet, to become his acolyte. Together, they embark on a quest for their destiny, with Don Quixote ardently aspiring to epitomize the quintessential valorous knight. This enchanting narrative of gallantry is a paragon of myth and delight, replete with hilarity and suspense, comedic interludes and unforeseen twists. Okay, so what do you feel about it? Well, let me tell you. I think this is really confusing. The reason, there are so many difficult words, and for quite a few of you, a lot of words are totally new. You may never have come across these words at all. So, what does this lead us to? There are certain important aspects of vocabulary which we need to consider, and of course, while we know that in the CAT we may not come across any such passage which is as challenging as the one I read out for you just now, a particular year, probably in 2019, there was a passage which had very difficult words. Okay, in the third slot, as far as I can remember, there was a passage, an RC passage, which was really challenging because the kind of words that that passage contained were very new and difficult. So, we cannot be sure that what we will come across in the future will be something that will not be the kind that some people in the past had to put up with. So, this tells us that our preparation should be on par. There are a few aspects of vocabulary which you certainly need to focus on. So, The important aspects of vocabulary begin with the basics, which is pronunciation. While you may differ with me and you may say that pronunciation is not that important, I have a different opinion. Pronunciations are important because while the first step is to clear an exam, the later aspects are also important. So, you need to be able to understand how a word is pronounced, because it is not just for an exam that we are learning vocabulary. We need to use words later on and we need to be able to pronounce them properly. Then comes in their definition, how words can be defined, what their meanings are, and this gives us better understanding of any given word. After that, we should know what a word connotes. So, connotation is nothing but, in simple words, the nature of a word, whether a word is positive in nature or neutral or negative. Once we are aware of this, we can go ahead with word pairing, and that is called collocation. After this, we can use any given word properly. So, the word usage is the most important aspect of anything that we learn with regard to vocabulary, and until we are aware of each of these, the usage part will always stay compromised. Okay. Synonyms and antonyms come in at a later stage. Once we know how to use a word, we can start learning those words which have a similar meaning or those that have a meaning which is the opposite of these words. Okay. Now, this is a simplified version of the paragraph or the two paragraphs that I gave to you a little while ago. Once upon a time, in a village called La Mancha in Spain, there lived a man who loved to read about knights. Every day he would read about courageous knights and the incredible adventures they had. He was so absorbed in these stories that he hardly remembered to eat or sleep. Okay, so this simplified version, I hope, makes sense. Okay, that's because the words used, of course, in this paragraph are very simple, very easy to interpret. The days of knights and squires, of exciting adventures and romances come alive in the hilarious account of Don Quixote's travels. As years pass, Don Quixote imagines himself placed in a world of knights. He convinces Sancho Panza, a peasant from the same village, to be his squire, and together they set out to seek their fortune. Don Quixote, eager to be the best chivalrous king. This delightful story of chivalry is all fun and pleasure, laughter and excitement, farce and suspense. Now, in this paragraph, there are a few words that are slightly at a higher level than the ones we are aware of, but then more or less these two paragraphs are easy to interpret. So, that's a difference between that kind of presentation or that piece of writing which is full of difficult words and this which has words which are common everyday words. But in order to excel, we need to be able to interpret both. Okay, and a good vocabulary will always give you this edge. Okay, test takers, so I hope this video has given you a sneak peek into the world of vocab prep. So, for more of such videos, please follow, like and subscribe to our channel, Time for Education. Thank you.